Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I will be going through what Selenium WebDriver is and how it actually works. Okay, then we'll start looking out all the functions it provides. Okay, so let's get started. See what is Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so when I say what Selenium WebDriver is, it's an open source tool. When I say open source, it means it's completely free. You don't have to pay a single penny for it. Now, the second thing is that enables automated testing. Okay. So automated testing. So basically it is used for the testing. Okay. Software testing. In software testing, generally people use this tool to test. Okay. So to test what? To test web applications. It means it is only applicable for the websites or the web applications. Okay. Not for desktop based applications. Correct? Now, when I say automated here, right, I will quickly go and see automated means we will be using some codes, right? So we'll see what kind of language it supports. That's the question comes in our mind, right? Because might be few of them are good in Python and few of you likes Java, right? So it actually provides you multiple programming languages. Okay, it actually provides API for multiple programming language. It means you can use Java, you can use C Sharp, you can use Python, or many other languages like PHP and all. So it provides you a wide variety of APIs basically for programming languages. So you're good to go if you know a single language. Okay, if you know any language, you can start working on Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and believe me, guys, most of the function in the Selenium WebDriver is already created by Selenium, right? The only thing you should know is the programming language. Okay, now, with the help of these programming languages, you can interact with the web browsers. Okay, because you will be writing some kind of a code, right? So to writing a code, you should be knowing some programming language. So when you write that code, it will help you to interact with the web browser. Okay. Now, the third point is it performs such as navigation to the web page, clicking on the element, entering text. Okay, so I have given some examples here, right? Like what kind of operations you can do with the Selenium WebDriver. So I'm saying like you can navigate to the web page. Okay, you can click on a button, you can enter the text, you can fill entire form, you can do whatever things we generally do on the website. Like most of the elements present on a website you can handle, or I would say all the element present on a website you can handle with the help of Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Now, the next part is this allows developers to write tests that simulate user interaction, as I was saying, right? It exactly works the way you work on a website, right? So it simulates user interactions like hovering on the mouse, like you hover your mouse on a button, it will give you a kind of a tooltip, right? So everything you can do with it. And then based on that information, you can create your test cases and validate if websites behave as expected or not. Yeah, obviously, because we are going to use this application or you use this tool for the testing only, right? So our end goal is to test if application behaves as the way it is expected or not. Okay. So in a nutshell, you can say Selenium WebDriver, it's an automated testing tool, which is basically used for web applications. I hope it is clear now. Now let's try to understand how it actually works. Okay. Let me clear this. Yeah. So when I say how it actually works, it means it has to somehow interact with the browser. Okay. So let's say this is my Selenium. Okay. And this is browser, right? So it has to interact with my browser because I will be writing my codes here, right? And these codes should somehow interact with these applications. Okay, this is your web. Now, if you go through these steps, Selenium WebDriver interacts with a web browser through a browser driver. When I say browser driver, it means there is a driver which depends on the browser, right? So if it is a Chrome, you will be using chromedriver. Okay. If it is a Edge, you will be using Edge driver. So this driver will actually vary based on the your web browser. Okay, so if you are using Edge, you will be using Edge driver, you will be using other drivers as well, right? Like whatever, there are multiple drivers, right? IE, Geeko, and couple of them, right? So you can use any of those drivers based on your web browser present in your system or based on your requirement. Okay. Okay, maybe you want to use Safari, right? So you need Safari driver. Maybe you want to use Edge, you need Geeko driver or Edge driver, right? So this is how this is the first requirement. First of all, you need a driver. Okay. Now the driver act as a bridge between the Selenium WebDriver API and the specific browser. It means whatever interaction has to be done with the web browser from the Selenium, you have to do it with the help of driver only. Now, what happened is whenever your test script start executing in the Selenium, okay, it will send these commands over here. Okay, these commands will come to the driver. Okay, and then driver will take these commands, do some kind of changes required, do some kind of basically transformations, or maybe you can say it will interpret it in a way, right? It will compile it and it will do some kind of interpretation, and then it will transfer that line of code to the web browser. Okay, and then these code will be ingested in WebDriver, and then WebDriver will react based on the ingested code or commands. Okay, so this is how actually WebDriver works. Okay, so when I say it will ingest some kind of code, internally it's used JavaScript basically to handle the web pages or the web browser. Okay, so just remember it. So one thing we have to, as a keynote, right, we have to take one thing from here is like we need a driver, okay, to automate any web page or any web browser. Okay, now let's go to the next slide and see like, oh, how basically we can use this driver, how basically we can initiate this driver, how basically we can create this driver, right? Because we have to create it. Okay, let me clear it out. Let me go to the next slide. So if you see here, I said how to open the Chrome browser. I'm taking Chrome browser, right? So it means I need a Chrome driver. Okay, now to create a Chrome driver, there are two ways. One is you can use WebDrivermanager. Okay, and the second one is system.setProperty. Now, when I talk about system.setProperty first, okay, basically, okay, this dot should not be there, my mistake. Okay, yeah, so system.setProperty is a method which is used to set the property of any object. Okay, let's forget about Selenium. Let's forget about Chrome. Okay, you can set the property of any element or any, basically it will take one key, okay, and it will save one value corresponding to that key. Now whenever you want, you can use this key to get the value. Let me quickly show you guys how it actually works. First of all, before going to Selenium, let's try to understand the functions which it actually use. Okay, so here I will write system. So when I say system, system is a class. Now get property or set property, I should say. Sorry, system, sorry. Yeah, set property. Now if you see here, it will take two arguments. One is key and the other one is value. Let's say the key is name. Okay, name. And the second value is, let's say, Aman. Okay, this is the value. Now this key and this value will be stored somewhere in the system. Okay, now if you wanted to get the value at any point of time now, okay, what you can do, you can again use system dot get property, and then I will say just give me this, the name of the value of this key basically. Okay, I'll simply ask give me the value of this key. Okay, and it will return me a string. Okay, I'll say value, and then we'll quickly print it. Okay, let's run this and see how it actually works. Yeah, if you can see, right, it gives you the value, right? So our first function was to see basically how to set property. Now, why I shown you like how it actually works is basically we need to download one driver which is given by Selenium on Selenium website. Okay, let me show you that one also. You can download like this. You can go to the Selenium website. Okay, there are complete instruction given like how you can install the driver. Okay, there are multiple ways it has already shown you. And if you scroll down here, you will see the quick references for the browsers as well as the download link. So if you want to use Chrome, you can click on this download, it will navigate you to the website. Now here, if you see, there are multiple versions of Chrome present. Now you have to check which version you are using because the version should be equal. So if you see here, our version is 109. Okay. So I will be choosing one of the driver which is of the same version. I have to download this. Okay. And I will download it. Click on this, it will give me a download option. Okay. I can download it and I can set the path of this particular download. Let's say this is downloaded now. Okay. Let me show you guys 1 minute. Okay. So if you see here, it is downloaded here. Okay. Now 1 minute. Yeah. So it is downloaded here and this is the my path. Correct. So now my first, I will be using my first option here. Okay. System.setProperty. I'll pass this path here and I will say chromedriver.exe. So this is my driver. Okay. This is stored in this particular path. Now here the key is somehow defined by Selenium. We cannot pass our own key. Okay, so there is a key called WebDriver dot Chrome, sorry, Chrome dot driver. So this is for Chrome driver. Again, if you want, you can download Firefox driver, right? IE driver, whatever driver you want to download. You can download and based on this, you have to change this like this. For IE, this one. Okay. For Firefox, maybe you will use this one or Geeko or whatever. It will be mentioned on the website. Okay. So if you see here, if you go for any other browser, let's say Firefox, okay, it will give you the download. It will give you all the versions, and based on the version, it will give you an option to download. Let's say for Firefox, we use Geeko driver. Okay, so we can download this Geeko driver, we can pass information here, and we can say here Firefox. Okay, so this is how basically we can change and we can set the property of our driver. So here I'm talking about driver, right? As I have shown you earlier. Now the driver is ready. Now, as soon as I'll write new Chrome driver, okay, what it will do, I'm importing this Chrome driver now. Let's run it. What it will do, it will quickly open your browser. See, it quickly opened the browser. Sorry, I was using two screens, that's why. So this browser is open. Okay. So if you see here, we have set up the driver, and based on the driver, we are able to call our Chrome browser. Okay. So this is the first way to interact with the browser. Okay. With the driver. So I'll say, okay. Now, if you see here, we have done a lot of manual activities, right? We have downloaded the driver, we checked what the version is, then based on the version we downloaded. If you don't, if you have downloaded some other version, right, and if you try to use it, it will give you an error for sure. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful, right, here. And you have seen, right, there are a lot of manual activities which we have done just now. So the second method will be as used as an improvement, okay, as an advanced feature given by Selenium now. Again, it's an external library, I would say. Okay, so what it will do in the external library, there is a class called WebDrivermanager. Okay, and this is the second one which I was showing you, WebDrivermanager class. Okay, so this is the class, okay, by which you can download as well as call your driver without giving any path. Okay, so here let me comment it out. So, okay, now I have written this statement. Let's try to understand this statement first. Okay, WebDrivermanager, so it's a class basically. Okay, now if you see, I have written chromedriver. What if there is a Firefox driver? There is a different manager altogether. See, altogether there is a different driver. So for all the browsers, you will see there are different drivers available in this particular class. And based on my browser, I will be using my driver. Okay, and then I will call one function of this WebDriver called setup. Okay, what it will do? Basically, it will download the driver which is required for your system based on your web browser present in the system. Okay, so as I have shown you, right, you have the Chrome browser and the version is 109, so it will automatically check that version. It will check that you need a Chrome driver. It will download that driver and it will set up everything for you. You don't even have to set up the path and all. Okay, so everything is done now here. Now the next part is you just have to call it. That's it, as simple as that. So all the manual steps has been removed. Okay, so if you use this method, you don't have to perform anything manually. Let me show you. Yeah, see, the browser is open. Okay, next time I'll try to record my another screen so that you guys can see it properly. So that's how we can open the browser, and that's how we can leverage these two methods. Okay, these two basic ways. Okay, nowadays basically in most of the companies or in most of the project, we basically use this method. So we will be continuing with this method and we'll start looking and we'll start exploring all the methods given by Selenium, and we'll see how we can automate the browsers. So I hope this video will be helpful for you. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.